And we're live. Beers and Buffalo Podcast, Season 7, Episode 12. Back at it again for Week 9 of the NFL. Coming off a big Buffalo Bills win this past weekend against the Carolina Panthers. A much-needed win, too.
Much needed. I was just going to say the same thing. Much-needed win.
A refreshing win. We figured out how to play football again, right?
We figured out how to play defense, and we figured out that James Cook is him. You know, Josh Allen didn't look the greatest, but 40-9, he doesn't have to look the greatest. And those are the games that I like to win like that, where Josh Allen doesn't have to put the team on his back.
And I heard a lot of people saying, like, man, I like the games to be competitive. If I were to go to that game, I don't want a blowout. No, I want a blowout. I would have rather it be 70-0 Bills than a 35-34 game, and then we have to sweat it out. Yeah. Because, first of all, it's expensive to go to these away games. You're taking time out of your day, your schedule. You're going out of your way to go to an away game in another state. You got to get lodging. You got to worry about everything else that goes with that, right? Tickets aren't cheap either, game tickets, I'm saying. And then you got to sweat out a game, and then if they lose, you go home and you're pissed the whole plane ride? Nah, man. Give me the blowout, and I'll have a happy plane ride on the way home.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
That's the way I see it. All right, well, before we talk any more about the Bills, we are going to talk beer. And, Jeff, you had brought the beer this week, so what are we drinking?
We're drinking Thin Man Brewery Oktoberfest. I don't think we've had an Oktoberfest yet this year. We've had another type of pumpkin, the Caramel Pumpkin. Mm-hmm. This is a 6.3% Marzen Lager.
A Marzen Lager.
I think that's what an Oktoberfest is, so...
I looked that up, and I got the skinny on that.
Drink fresh.
Let me see. Oh, that's actually a good head this time.
There you go. Look at that. Look at you learn how to pour.
So as you said, 6.3 Marzen Lager. Marzen is a German-style amber lager, rich, toasty, malty flavor profile. Historically, it was a stronger March beer brewed in March and lagered in cold caves over summer, which is how it's got its name, meaning March in German. It was the original beer served at Oktoberfest, but has largely been replaced by a lighter golden beer called Fest beer, which I've definitely heard of Fest beers before.
Yeah, I've heard of those too.
I've seen some even at consumers too. So those, I guess, are the two types of Oktoberfest: is a Fest beer and a Marzen. This color is great on this.
Yeah, this looks like a nice fall beer. You know, we're just a couple days away from Halloween. I figured, you know, before we swing into the next season here.
Wow, it smells incredible.
Taste just as good too. That's good.
That's really good.
It's not. It's on the lighter side of how I thought it was going to taste too, which is good.
Definitely redeemed yourself from.
Yeah, finally. It only took me
a couple of weeks,
a month's worth of getting beers here. So
I don't know, man. This thing it smells like it's super strong. Like you would think this is going to hit you harder because the flavors are very intense on it.
Honestly, if I'm drinking a Oktoberfest, this is what I picture it tasting like.
Yeah.
So I think
kind of reminds me of the Genesee one a little bit. Maybe it's just the can looks almost identical to it too.
I think every Oktoberfest has the some form of checkers on there.
Yeah, I looked at it. I'm like, wait, that kind of looks like the Genesee Oktoberfest that we had before, and like crushed an 18 pack of that. But
yeah, that was fun. That was a good time. That was a lot warmer than too.
Yeah, no, dude. Let me go over to the chart here. We gave the Fallbach last week a 7.9 or 7.8 respectively. Also pretty like fall type beer, right?
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of an Oktoberfest, a little bit different. This one I think is better.
Yeah.
The flavors, everything, the aroma, everything is stronger on this beer, and the percentage is stronger. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one an 8.2. I'll go 8.2. I was 8.2 or 8.3.
I like this a little bit better than last week, so I'm gonna go 8.1 on this one.
That makes sense. Bringing us up to how many do we have in the 8s this year? We only have had 1, 2, 3, 4. I've only had 4 in the 8s. You've had 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, same. Yeah. We've only had 4 beers in the 8s.
We have a very similar palate when it comes to beer, so a lot of our scores are going to be pretty similar to each other.
Wasn't there one? Well, this one I thought you were going to go a lot higher than me.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that.
Or this one too, the 5.2. I thought you were going to give it a 6.5.
Those are the last two that I bought. that I thought were dog shit. So
yeah, not the
I went
greatest.
based off of cans, and it failed me on those. So
well, you brought this one though, didn't you? The risotto. That wasn't bad.
that was a good can too. That was a good one. It's a hazy IPA though. Those are one of our favorite beers. So
exactly.
It's not a Miller Lite. Give me a hazy IPA.
Mm-hmm. Look at this. Up to 5 concurrent viewers right now.
Wow, look at that.
I think I got the whole family watching right now.
Nice.
They're all over my parents' house.
My kids may be watching too.
We got everybody.
Hopefully Cecilia got her homework done if she is watching, because I told her she wasn't allowed to until she finishes her homework.
All right, let's get in this Bills game. Like we said, Bills are back on track here. Convincing win over the Panthers, 40-9. Much needed win. The story of this game was the run game. James Cook, especially throughout the game, constantly exploited the left side of the field. He scored 2 rushing touchdowns. His first came after dodging Carolina defender, running untouched to the end zone. Just, it looked like he was running free out there. Like he didn't even have to break too many tackles. It was just, the hole was either that big or they were in the wrong defense or something, but he was untouched on a lot of plays. He had a lot of like 20-plus yard runs that game too.
Yeah, credit the offensive line too, obviously making those holes for him, picking up blocks downfield too with our tight ends and our receivers. But the dude looked like he was playing Madden. Like, he was literally like untouched. 215 rushing yards. That seems like a Madden simulation game right there. It's like all you do is run the ball every single play, but and you get 20 plays and you're running for 200 yards on Madden. But he didn't. This was real professional football, and he made the Panthers defense look like absolute Swiss cheese.
I was just gonna say. First half, 153 yards, which is the highest in 2025 so far. His 64-yarder is the second longest of his career. And like you said, finished with 216 and 2 touchdowns on 19 carries. Really just couldn't be stopped. We talked about it the week before and the week before that, where we kind of got away from the run game. Come out, run on Carolina, man.
Yeah.
Exploit that team. Now, we both didn't realize that, I don't think at the time, that Andy Dalton was going to be the starter when we did the podcast last Wednesday.
Yeah, we did.
Did we know?
Yeah, we knew Andy Dalton was
You
starting.
sure?
Yeah, I'm almost positive.
Well, and I still picked Carolina to cover, and I was really wrong on that one.
You were very wrong on that one.
I was really wrong on that.
The 3 turnovers absolutely helped too. So the defense absolutely stepped up. The defense, since Sean McDermott and Bobby Babich have gotten together, I think they're calling plays together now, which I think is going to help. Bobby Babich is going to help the team. They look a lot more aggressive, and that's what you got to do in the NFL these days. You have to be an aggressive defense.
Yeah, they despite some early season injuries, our defense excelled against Carolina that week. Shaq Thompson anticipated a play, helped shift the defense, leading to a defensive end. A.J. Epineza blocking it and intercepting a pass, which set up a touchdown later by Josh. The defense alone, I think 7 sacks were recorded.
Yeah, 7 sacks.
Bosa, Epineza, Russo, Ed Oliver, Michael Hoyt, which is great to see him on the stat sheet.
Oh, he looked phenomenal.
He looked great. Jordan Phillips, Deion Walker all showed on the stat sheet for a sack. And even Hairston, who I was kind of pessimistic about, like I didn't think he was going to be that great, but he held his own down. I think he was targeted right away on the opening drive twice. He broke up a pass, and the other one I think was also a breakup, but it was called back on a penalty. Okay. But I don't think he allowed any catches that I can remember. No interceptions, no big plays. I think he only had 1 tackle, but I think it was more so that he was breaking up plays, and they weren't throwing to his side as much as I thought they would.
Yeah, you're right. You got this rookie cornerback coming in, and you want to see what he's got. You kind of want to expose him a little bit. But again, that goes back to us having 7 sacks and them only scoring 9 points the entire game. They weren't really on the field much. And Andy Dalton, as good as he once was, he's more of a shell of himself right now. And I don't think at this point in his career he's going to be making these plays where he's going to have to target Hairston more often. I just don't think that they had the opportunity to target him more.
I mean, they were down that whole game. They were kind of in throw mode pretty much from the second quarter on, which is unfortunate because Rico Dowdell still actually had a decent game for the limited carries he had. He ended up with 8 carries for 54 yards. That's 6.8 a carry.
Yeah.
But when you're down the whole game playing catch up that quickly too, like at halftime, it was kind of just, you could see the writing on the wall. They got away from game plan there, and it was just, we have to throw to try to keep ourselves in this game or catch back up into this game. What was I going to say? Dalton, he lost a fumble. You said, I think there was 2 forced fumbles maybe and an interception, or was it?
I think it was 2 forced fumbles and an interception.
Christian Benford recovered one. But I mean, all in all, Bills defense and lack of Carolina offense combined there, that's going to get you 9 points. And a missed extra point, that's going to get you 9 points on the scoreboard there. How this team won 3 games in a row, I mean, it didn't look like a team that could win 1 game in a row last week.
Yeah, that team, I think that goes to show that Bryce Young is really their quarterback of the future, because I think that he makes that team look a lot better than what Andy Dalton did this week.
Also, I think it's just they ran into a hungry Bills team. The Bills needed. This was must win, because foreshadowing this upcoming week, going back home, playing the Kansas City Chiefs, you don't want to go down 3 games in a row going into that game. Let's get some momentum going in that game, right? So I think it was kind of a mixture of things. Backup quarterback, hungry Bills team coming off the bye as well. Yeah. So, which we've always done historically good. And that was just a recipe for disaster.
And Carolina going into this game was a 10th ranked run defense, which is surprising that how well James Cook did, because James Cook made it look like they were the 33rd ranked defense, and there's not even 33 teams in the NFL.
Well, I was going to pull up Carolina's schedule, because I don't think they have had the strongest schedule here, and that's why I think maybe the numbers might be inflated just a little bit.
Right.
Regular season schedule.
Yeah, obviously the numbers were inflated.
So Jacksonville, 26-10 they lose. Arizona, another bad team, 27-22 they lose. But Atlanta, this one that helped pad their stats when they blanked Atlanta 30-0.
That's true.
Then New England killed them. And then it was a win win at home against Miami, a win at home against Dallas, and a win on the road against the Jets. And this was a low-scoring game here, too, also kind of padding some stats. But you look at bad team on the road, bad team, good team, mixed team, bad team, and bad team. So, like, they played 2 decent teams so far. Your numbers are going to be kind of inflated, I guess. I don't know. What else do I got here? Bills passing game didn't really have to do much here. Josh, I think he only threw for 163 yards and a touchdown, 12 of 19. But he didn't need to do that much, right? He just needed to be efficient, not turn the ball over, which is what he did. We got Kincaid back from injury this week. Wasn't really a factor. He had 1 catch on 3 targets. It was namely Khalil Shakir, 6 for 88 and a touchdown. And that was essentially just the passing game right there. Those 2 guys kind of play and catch. And it was just a run game. And that was it. That's all they needed to do. A lot of people are looking at Josh going, he hasn't done nothing this year. A lot of the games we're winning here, we're winning because of the run game. And Josh hasn't had to do anything crazy.
Yeah, other than that Baltimore game.
Right.
Which
we were down and he played hero ball and we came back. But
yeah,
you're right. That's really the only game he's, I think, even gone over like 250. He hasn't hit 300 mark I don't think at all since that game.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And realistically, he hasn't really had to. But there were the 2 games that we lost that we wished he would have put up over 300 yards. It would have helped our offense a little bit more. But it is what it is at this point. That wasn't just those weren't just on Josh Allen. The play calling wasn't the greatest when we didn't have James Cook out there. Our defense struggled those 2 games. So it's one of those things. It's it is what it is. It's early in the season. We're now 7 games into a 17-game season. We came off our bye, looked fresh, looked healthy-ish, other than the injuries that we still have throughout the team that, hopefully they get healthier as the season goes on, because we're going to need them. But shout out to Viral Cashflow and Chad on YouTube for chatting with us over here.
Is that Chad Rink? My boy Chad Rink?
Sure is.
Awesome. Thanks, Chad. We got, I was right. So Ravens, the first game, 394, and then it was 148 yards, 213, 209. That Patriots game, he got over that 250 mark, 180, 163. But you're seeing multiple games here in the less than 200 or right around 200. Very un-Josh-like. But again, man, we're beating a dead horse here. It's the James Cook show, it seems like, this year. The play calling has been run-focused here. Run-first focus, I should say. But I think that's going to change, foreshadowing here coming up into...
It's probably going to have to change.
In the Kansas City game.
It's going to be one of those things where it's going to go by the team we're playing against, how their defense stacks up, how their offense stacks up, and not to foreshadow, but the offense is going to stack up pretty well since they've gotten healthy on offense. And I do see this week being Josh Allen's going to have to score on every possession type of game.
I still think we need to clean up our penalties. 7 for 60.
Yeah.
Again, losing the penalty war here. But we did go, like I said before, we're 9-0 under Sean McDermott after the bye week. Something about those bye weeks, Sean gets the troops ready to go and play again and bounce back, even if it's a loss. And we're 7-2 against Carolina all time. So we got their number in general.
Yep.
Granted, they haven't really been good for a while either. So
they haven't been good since the Cam Newton days.
Luke Kuechly
retired early.
Steve Smith Sr., Greg Olson before he was announcer.
Yep.
And very biased during that game. Did you listen to Greg Olson?
No, I didn't really listen to it.
Dude, everything was just so you could just tell like this dude is like. Everything was just Carolina focused. Like, oh well, if it wasn't making up excuses, and
that's one of those things that's hard to get rid of though. You played for that team your entire career.
He's a Panther Hall of Famer, dude.
Yeah,
so
he's an NFL Hall of Famer too. Well,
will he be?
Will he be? I don't really know if he is or not.
All right, let's get into the Bills-Chiefs preview here. Week 9, Bills hosting Kansas City at Highmark. Week 9, marking their first of 4 late afternoon kickoffs. So, yeah, we haven't had a 4 o'clock game yet?
No, because we've had
2 or 3. Prime time at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Prime time at 1 o'clock.
Yep.
That's all we've had.
This is technically a prime time game, even though it's not at 7 or 8 o'clock.
Right.
We're the only game on.
No, is there? No. That's
televised. We're the only game televised. Okay. So, local.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Nationally televised. We're the only game on at the time. We're the only 425 game on it. I think Fox, it is this week. Your local team will probably be on a different station, but we're one of the only teams. We're the only game that's going to be nationally televised for everybody.
Let's see. Buffalo will be an underdog for the first time this season, getting 1.5 points here. I mean,
makes sense.
The Chiefs are now projected to have a 57% chance to win. That's way different than the preseason rankings, where Buffalo was favored in every game to start the season, right? It does make sense. I mean, outside of this Carolina bounce back game, we hadn't looked good the last few weeks, and vice versa. The Chiefs have started to look really good. They started getting some players back, and it's kind of a tale of two different teams here. That first half, they were bad, and they got better. First half, we seemed pretty good, and we kind of slowed down a little bit here. I think, again, obviously with this Carolina win, kind of propelling us into this game with some momentum, we need that, right? This is a big game here. And this is essentially going to be, I think, as much as I want James Cook to run the ball like he did against Carolina, I don't think he's going to have that same fortune. This is going to be Josh versus Patrick, as it usually is. Both of these guys kind of bring out the best in each other, too, and I think it's going to be a very competitive game in that sense where you're going to see a lot more throwing from Josh Allen this game.
Yeah, and I kind of alluded to that earlier. It's going to be one of those games where I'd like to see Buffalo get the ball first, go out, score, and just after that, we're going to have to match Kansas City. Especially if we don't get any turnovers. Because Kansas City's kind of playing a little bit of clean unless they throw the ball to Travis Kelce, who has a lot of interceptions because of his ball just going through his hands, which is uncharacteristic of him. But again, almost 36 years old, or is 36 years old. That's old for NFL players these days, he's slowing down later in his career. A lot of people are speculating that, this could be it, especially if they get back to the Super Bowl and win it. We're hoping that doesn't happen, but that's just some of the rumors that are out there. They thought he might have done that last year had they won, but he didn't want to go out on a bad note. So the Bills are just going to have to go score for score. But like I said, I hope we get that first score, so that way when they score, we score again, and we're always going to be up. I don't want to get behind and have Josh play hero ball or just get frantic and go into panic mode, and then we end up making mistakes because we're trying to do too much because we're
down. Obviously both quarterbacks are among the league's best here, both with MVP titles, impressive records. Allen leads Mahomes in the regular season 4-1, but we all know that Mahomes and the Chiefs are undefeated against Allen in the playoffs. In the 9 meetings, Allen has 24 touchdowns and 5 picks, averages 255 a game. Mahomes, 22 touchdowns, 3 picks, 273 a game. And then for 2025 so far, Allen's 18th in passing yards a game, Mahomes 4th. I didn't realize they were that far apart, but it makes sense after I just showed you how many 180-yard games he's had. Completion percentage, they're pretty close. Allen 11, Mahomes 14. Total touchdowns, Allen tied for 4th. Mahomes is number 1 in total touchdowns. He's got a ton of running touchdowns this year too.
He had a lot of rushing. He was the team's leading rusher after like 3 weeks when they were, or 4 weeks when they were 1-3. It's like, well, that's why you're 1-3, because your quarterback is your leading rusher. But they got healthy on offense. They got Xavier Worthy back. They got Rashee Rice back off of suspension. Their run game is looking a little bit better going forward now that their wide receivers can take some pressure off of them. So when you get some wide receivers like that can really open up the field, it takes a lot of pressure off of everybody else. Takes pressure off of Kelsey having to be the number 1 guy. Takes the pressure off the offensive line too, to try to not have to make as many holes for the running game. You know.
And you hit it there. I was just going to say, too, the Chiefs started the season pretty slow. They were missing Worthy with an injury, Rice with the suspension. Their offense ranked bottom half of the league in several categories for the first 3 games. And then when they get both receivers back, they're averaging 30 points a game now, which is the 4th best. And they lead the league in total offense, passing offense, and red zone efficiency since week 4. So it's like they never left. And everybody was counting them out the first couple weeks. And I said, look, their team isn't 100%. Wait till they get their players back, because it's not going to take long. That we knew the Worthy injury wasn't going to be that long, and we knew when Rice was going to come back from suspension. So if they can kind of hang in there once Worthy got back for a few games, just until they got Rice, because now it's a totally different game. This dude's averaging like 7 catches a game, 80-something yards a game, a touchdown a game. Now he's like, they've added this, other weapon for Patrick Mahomes now, and he was kind of a favorite target of his last year, especially at the end of last year. So they have a good chemistry together. Again, something that the Bills have been lacking since the Stephon Diggs. We always talk about this. There is no true number 1 here. You could say Khalil Shakir is the guy. He did have a very good game against the Panthers this past week, but it's not Rashee Rice. Yeah. He's not Rashee Rice. He's not a number 1. He's a slot receiver. He's a 2 or 3 on just about every other team in the league. Yeah,
absolutely. I think every receiver that we have is probably a 2 or a 3. I actually thought Josh Palmer was going to be step up and be that guy that we could use more as a wide receiver 1. I thought he was great being the number 2 or number 3 in Los Angeles for the Chargers. But then he comes here. Now he's hurt. We don't know what's going to happen.
Is he coming back this week though?
I have not gotten the injury report yet. Usually
I'll look it up.
I don't know when they have to submit that, because they are a later game. I know usually the Wednesday's practice report or injury report comes out after the practice, but I'm not sure if they have to.
Bernard, Bosa, Davis, Daquan, Milano, Palmer did not practice Wednesday.
Yeah, so probably another game where we don't have Josh Palmer. Insert Gabe Davis. Did you see the news on Gabe Davis?
No.
Off of injury, off of the IR, officially elevated to the practice squad, probably going to end up playing this week.
Okay.
I would not be shocked. I was anti Gabe Davis in the beginning of the season when we signed him, because I had a lot of high hope for our receiving corps. I love Shavers. I thought Coleman was going to have a better year this year because he put on some muscle.
Coleman's a disappointment. That's the real thing.
Unfortunately.
This guy, injuries, you can't predict that. Shakir, I thought, is doing what he was going to do.
He was the number 1 wide receiver last year. And catch percentage-wise. He led the league.
Curtis Samuel, where are you? Elijah Moore, where are you? Dropping passes. Fumbling. Too busy doing anything but catching the ball. Yeah. You're right. So we were pretty deep at wide receiver, and you would think one of these guys could step up.
That's what I was hoping.
If the job is open for number 1 wideout, somebody's got to step up. Like, you're not fumbling the ball, dude.
Yeah.
Again, it's part of that is play calling. I understand we are running the ball a lot more, but it just doesn't look like anybody wants that job.
Right.
So insert Gabe Davis here. He's got the chemistry already with Josh Allen. Now, let's say he does play. Do I think he's going to do anything crazy? No. This is a tough matchup to come into as well.
But also, we know what he's done against the Chiefs in the past.
He's a big play guy, though. That's the thing, which is what we haven't had as a deep threat downfield, and that does, I guess, open up that other side and helps Josh stretch the field a little bit more. We can get these crossing routes maybe underneath. I wouldn't say Josh Palmer's 100% out. I would like to see him play. I think all he's got to do is kind of log a practice by Friday, and they can make a decision. But if he doesn't practice all week, then he's pretty much out. But I think if you have a guy that can stretch the field, like nobody's done that. We thought maybe Keon Coleman could do it, but he's so slow and he can't get open. He's just kind of turned into a red zone target. Now, he had, I think, 3 catches last week, which is probably the most since week 1. He just hasn't done enough to get himself open. Gabe Davis, not necessarily a guy that gets open a lot too, but at least he can stretch the field. He's got more top-end speed. He can go past you, and he's a big frame guy, kind of like Coleman. So if they want to run both those guys on the outside, and then you have Shakir and Palmer on the inside, you kind of can work a little bit with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Like I said, I was anti-Gabe Davis in the beginning. I'm like, we don't need him. We don't need to keep, recycling these players that left Buffalo, and then they come back. It's like, oh my God, yay, nostalgia with Poyer, White and Hyde and Jordan Phillips. It's like, enough with these recycled players. But I think Gabe Davis is a little bit different. He's still on the younger side of, when it comes to.
He's on the better side of 30.
I think he's on the better side of 30 here. That's what I was trying to get at. Where obviously White's been dealing with injuries.
He's 26, so yeah, dude, he's still young, man.
I'll take it.
Kid's born in 99.
Damn, that makes me feel really old.
I know, right? You start looking at these NFL players, you're like, I thought I was 47 years old.
I was 12 years old when fucking Gabe Davis was born. Jesus.
Also here, Bills' defensive lineup impact into this game. Again, we did really good against the Panthers with the 7 sacks. Rousseau, Hoyt forcing fumbles. Deion Walker recovered one. Epineza intercepting a pass. And Hoyt returning from suspension did make a significant impact here. I didn't see Larry Ogunjobi as much on the stat sheet there. I know he recorded, I think, like 3 or 4 tackles. But this Michael Hoyt is part of that pass rush here. And the Bills' pass rush is among the league's best with a high pressure rate and 22 sacks, which is tied for 8th in the NFL. I didn't think that was the case, but apparently it is. I think we just jumped a bunch of people from this game. Yeah. 7 sacks, I think, will do that to you.
Yeah.
Although, and I'll talk about it later, what's his face? Myles Garrett had 5 himself this past week. So
when you record 5 sacks yourself and your team still loses, you're bad horribly.
You're bad.
Like, I saw the picture when Myles Garrett was just sitting by himself on the end of the bench. This dude is absolutely thinking to himself, I made a mistake. I should have just stuck to my guns and requested a trade instead of signing this record-breaking deal, because now he's stuck. He's the new Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas was phenomenal for Cleveland Browns, a left tackle, never missed a snap. He was the Iron Man for 7 or 8 years or 10 years, whatever it was for his career. It's just unbelievable what he was able to accomplish. And Myles Garrett, at the same time, it's just like, what are we doing here? Gabriel's obviously not the answer for
11 years.
11 years, didn't miss a snap. That's absolutely unreal.
That's crazy. Look at 16 games, 16 started all the way until 2017, where he only played half the season. I think he retired though halfway through the season.
I don't know if it was halfway, but he might have. I think that's when he got injured.
Oh, okay.
And that's when his streak ended. Yikes!
Pro Bowler, 10 out of 11 years.
It's already been 8 years since he retired.
Yeah.
I feel like this was just a couple of years ago, dude. These years are starting to fly by, bro.
Yeah, it is.
They're starting to fly by. It needs to slow down a little bit.
So some keys here again. Buffalo strategy, focus on the defensive takeaways, maintaining offensive possession. Bills lead the NFL in time of possession, 33 minutes per game, and they're 3rd in first downs per game. You don't want Mahomes to have the ball. That's essentially it. I said we want to run the ball as much as we can. I don't think it'll be play out like we did last week, but I want to at least attempt it. If they start, they're going to stack the box. Here's the thing, and you got to be able to, change your game plan here. They're probably going to go in thinking we're going to try to feed him as much as possible. We want to get him at least 20 touches, James Cook. But I know Steve Spagnuolo is a good defensive coordinator. He's going to make changes. He's going to make adjustments, and this will end up turning out to be a shootout. I think realistically,
for sure.
Not that James Cook can't be effective, because he can be, and they could maybe use him a little bit more in the passing game. I told you the other week I hadn't seen Ty Johnson as much. He did get a lot of play time this past week, him and Ray Davis. The game started getting out of control, so you started seeing the other backs in there. But they could still throw the ball to James Cook. So I still think he'll be a part of that offense. And like I said, it'll just be more of a pass-heavy game, just because Josh and Pat definitely bring out the best in each other there.
For sure. And Kansas City's defense actually has kind of flipped a little bit. They're better in the secondary now than they are at stopping the run. So they used to be real good. You never used to be able to run on Kansas City, but you can run on Kansas City now. They're not the best at stopping the run this year. Chris Jones, as elite as he is, can't do it all. So I just think that they've gotten better in the secondary. It opens up the run game for other teams. So hopefully, we do see a little bit more of James Cook being more just as effective. Obviously, I'm not expecting him to run for 216 yards again and average 11.4 yards a carry again. But if he averages 5-6 yards a carry, gets a much needed first downs that we need to keep the drives alive. I'm more than happy with that.
Yeah, and I actually wrote that down right after I said both teams are actually better at stopping the pass than the run. So
yeah.
You're right. As much as I think it's going to be a shootout, the weak points are the run, and we'll see how effective that is. Although I do think Spagnuolo is a far better coordinator than our guy, so
yeah,
there'll be some adjustments being made. Before Week 9, the Bills are 5th in the AFC. They got a 5-2 record. Chiefs are 7th, 5-3. The Patriots and the Broncos lead their conferences respectively. Chiefs have held the number 1 seed though 4 of the last 5 years, and the Bills have been the number 2 for 5 straight years.
Yeah. We had high expectations for the Bills coming in. We said this has got to be the year they get Josh that first round bye, because we've never seen Josh with the first round bye, what he can do in the playoffs. Maybe nice. Not getting that wild card game.
Just that extra rest in the playoffs, dude. You're late into December there. January.
Yeah, January.
I was like, wait, what month? What month?
Who's on first?
Yeah, who's on first? But yeah, that would be nice. That's all I had for the game here. Did you have anything else you want to add about the Chiefs game before we move on to some NFL news?
I think the key to the game is, like I said, it's just the Bills are going to have to make sure they keep up with Kansas City offensive-wise. They got to put points on the board just about every single drive. The defense has to, stay as strong as they did last week, stay as aggressive. I want to see James Cook just as involved as he has been or as he was last week. And I want to see Josh make a mistake-free game.
Yeah.
And hopefully limit the penalties. But you can't, decide what the refs are going to call and what they're not going to call.
All right, let's get into some NFL news here. Start things off here. Jets getting their first win of the season in a shootout against the Bengals, 39-38. Nobody saw that coming.
No.
Including us, because we obviously didn't pick them.
No, we didn't.
That is quite the opposite of what we've seen from the Jets this year, who have had literally no signs of life on offense. Putting up almost 40 points. They almost scored as much as the Bills did.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Now, I know the Bengals haven't had a good defense, but still, the Jets, who literally have been lifeless. Who started quarterback? Was that?
It was Justin Fields.
Yeah. This was a redemption game for him.
I think so.
Because he knew that he's lucky that Tyrod was hurt, because Tyrod was getting the start. They already said Tyrod was going to start that game if he didn't get hurt. So I think this was a redemption for Fields. Coming off of a big win, putting up points more importantly. This wasn't a 9-6 win. 39-38, you're putting points up. Breece Hall looked good. The entire offense was moving there. I think he keeps his job another week.
Yeah, for sure. You have to. It was an emotional game for the Jets too. Their one of their career centers, Alex Mangold, lost his life to kidney complications over the weekend.
Saw that.
So that was kind of an emotional game for the Jets. They kind of wanted to go out there and win that for him. But like you said though, it's like the Jets haven't been good, and for them to put up 39 points, and they were down. I think they were down double-digit scores at one point. Or two or three scores at one point too. They came back. It wasn't like it was a shootout back and forth type of thing. The Jets were down. The Bengals were winning. They were already up a score or two.
Yep.
And the Jets came back and won that game. So you gotta any given Sunday at this point. We say that every week. Any given Sunday, somebody's gonna win.
You got to stick with it, man. None of these teams. I never believe these teams are gonna go 0-win whatever. Right? It's very hard to go winless.
Yeah.
There probably a lot of people got knocked out of suicide though because of that.
Yep. I know a couple of people that got knocked out, and I'm actually in a pool that started out with 1,200. And we're down to like $187, and I'm one of the 187, so I still got a chance at $27,000.
You didn't pick the Bengals that week?
No, I picked the Bengals week 1 last year, and I was knocked out the first week because they should have beaten the Patriots, and they fucking shit the bed.
Oh God.
So yeah, I've learned I've not picked the Bengals this year. Actually, Danny, the neighbor, he picked the Bengals in his big boy pool, so he was probably a little salty about that. So
Texans getting, and I'm going to use my air quotes here, upset over the 49ers, 26-15 with no Nico Collins. And we talked about this. They looked terrible the week before when they got smoked. Yep. I think it was Seattle, maybe. I guess they really do play that much better at home. Now, we were both wondering why the Texans would be favored. You look at the records, they're almost like flip-flopped. Why they would be favored at home after just looking putrid and not having your star receiver.
Yeah.
So I guess the odds makers know things that I don't know or you don't know because totally different team. The defense has been very good. I will say that. This 15 points, that I wasn't surprised that. It was the 26 that they put up on offense without their guy. Run game, and the run game is like very lackluster between Woody Marks and Nick Chubb. They split carries a lot of the time. None of these guys really get rushed more than 40 or 50 yards. He found his guy, I think it was Xavier Hutchinson, what ended up being the go-to. I was thinking it was going to be Dalton Schultz, who had over 100 yards the week before and was doing good before Collins even got concussed in that game. So I was ready to make some waiver pickups for Schultz because I was thinking he's going to have a huge game. He's got the biggest upside. He's got a good relationship with CJ Stroud, but it was Xavier Hutchinson, I think, who's on his second or third year with the team. So kind of surprised there. Eagles win the grudge match against the Giants 38-20. Might have been a different story if your boy doesn't get hurt.
Man, I'm sad about that. I'm a huge Cam Scatterboo fan, man.
Dislocated ankle.
That was rough.
They said a bunch of other shit they just came out with. Those other things.
Fractured tibula.
Yep.
And I think one of the ligaments, too, that connects everything was also torn or ruptured. But they said it was a successful surgery. So they are saying he could be back by next year. I didn't see his foot in the picture that I saw. I was just like in the video. I was like,
it was turned completely like 90 degrees, dude. Like it didn't look good.
It looked like his leg just ended and there was nothing left there. Like I saw that. I was just like, this dude might not ever walk again, let alone play again. So
he'll be back next week.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, he'll be back in a couple of weeks. They're just gonna duct tape it back together. So, which. If Cam Scatterboo had anything to say about it, he would be back.
I think so. Would it have been a different game, though? I don't know. The Eagles actually look really good this game.
Jalen Hurts, over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. Like,
not fantastic. Used to seeing those kind of numbers. I think they're hearing the outside noise maybe a little bit that the Eagles can only push. Mm-hmm. Now, was this back-to-back weeks that he threw for 300?
That I couldn't tell you because I don't keep up on stats with Jalen Hurts. Unless he's on my fantasy team, which out of my 6 leagues, he's not on any of them, surprisingly.
No, you were wrong. 300 yards was last week, so it was only 179.
Well,
but he still did throw
4 touchdowns. I was close.
I was about to say, dude, but I would have been right, though, because it was back-to-back.
Yeah,
it was the Vikings game. I
was close.
So look at that. 7 touchdowns, no interceptions in 2 weeks is still pretty damn good.
Yeah. Over 500 yards 2 weeks in a row. So
not bad. And his passer rating of 141.5 and then a perfect 158.3.
Yeah,
so
I don't understand how 158.3 is perfect, but
it is.
I digress.
There's math.
I don't understand how that
There's some math there.
Math ain't mathing for me, man.
Pats remain in first place in the division with a win over the Browns like we thought. And like I said, despite Myles Garrett setting a franchise record for 5 sacks in one game. Look at, man, the Patriots are looking good, man. They're going to play a lot of the same guys we're going to play as far as out of the division this year. The Carolina, Atlanta, the Saints. Like you're going to be playing. You're going to have a pretty easy schedule too. We're playing catch up at this point. They got the tiebreaker over us at this point. We're going to need some losses out of the fucking Patriots here now.
Multiple. We're going to have to go on a run here, dude.
We will, but also like that loss to them is huge.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody thought the Bills wouldn't win the division. Nah, I'm not going to count us out yet, but you're kind of sitting here going, well, they're going to play the same out-of-conference players as we are. They got the game on us, half game on us, and the tiebreaker. It makes you a little bit cautious here. Like, we can't afford to drop games that we shouldn't drop.
Right.
I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think, I was listening to WGR this week, and one of the points made was this week against Kansas City is probably going to make or break when it comes to winning the division or not this year. So, because I don't think the Patriots play Kansas City this year because we only played Kansas City because we both won our divisions last year.
Right.
So, New England not playing Kansas City doesn't help. This is going to be one of those games where we're going to have to go win for win with the Patriots at this point and hope we get that win against them when we go to their place in December.
This is what makes me nervous a little bit here. So they play Atlanta this week.
Yep.
Who knows what Atlanta will show up? Tampa again, same thing. Who knows what Tampa will show up because they've kind of slouched a little bit.
They got a lot of injuries,
but they got a bye week this week, so I think that'll help a lot. Tampa's on the bye week this week. Then the Jets, who they probably are going to win that game. Then the Bengals, who have no defense, and who knows what happened. Joe Flacco's hurt right now too.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
I don't know if it's going to be super serious. I don't think he'll miss the game, but something thumb or arm. I don't think it was throwing arm or throwing thumb or anything like that related, but it was like hand or arm. I want to say we could take a look at that. The Giants. I mean, the Giants could win, but that's winnable. That's a winnable game for them.
Competitive.
Then they're on a late bye week, and they come off and they play us. So we'd have to beat them. The Ravens will be good by then. So back-to-back losses you would hope to see here. They'll beat them, and then the Dolphins. So
Jets
it's all look at 3 divisional games out of the last 4.
Yeah,
they need to drop. I think the Tampa game, the Giants game, at least those 2 before the bye.
Yeah,
I think that'll help.
That's actually what the guy at WGR was saying too. They said if they go 4-2 before their bye, and the Bills go on a 7-0 run, and we have the same record going into that game against the Patriots, that'll probably make the division. But the Bills have a harder schedule to close out the season than the Patriots do.
How come I don't hear about any Patriot players getting hurt? Why is it always the Bills players getting hurt? I don't hear about anybody on offense or defense getting hurt ever. Because
we're hearing more about our local teams than anybody else. You know, we're not hearing. I don't hear anybody about San Diego or Los Angeles Chargers players getting hurt. Joe Alt, maybe. That was about
Joe Alt got
hurt.
That
was a top 5 draft pick.
Khalil Mack didn't even start the season. He just came back last week. He's like 38 years old.
We didn't know that.
I knew that.
No, you didn't.
I did know that. Patriots injury. I want to just see if they have any big names on this injury report, dude, because it's like every week, man. I just feel like they're always healthy. All right. Patriots did not participate. Don't know him. Stevenson, but he's a bum. Bormark. Diggs limited. He'll play. So they never.
Yeah, they've got 6 guys, and 4
of those 6 guys.
4 of those 6 are probably going to play.
Yeah, and the one of the guys that isn't going to play is literally just splitting carries anyways.
Yeah,
with the real running back.
Trevor
so.
Henderson. And that's a rest for did not participate.
Non-injury related, dude. Like
he's just getting veteran rest at that point.
So basically, limited participation for 4 guys, which will all end up playing this weekend. That's what I'm saying, dude. This team, I just feel like they never have anything go wrong for them. We got here. Oh, the Dolphins getting a much-needed win as well, beating the Falcons 34-10. We just talked about this. Yeah. What Falcons team is going to show up? It angers me because of how the Bills lost, but then you look at no Michael Penix, no Drake London.
Yeah, that's true.
That is a big part of that. Probably why they only put up 10 points. This game's a little bit more competitive. Obviously, those 2 play, and then you don't know what happens. You insert those 2 players. You go, well, are those 2 players going to make up 24 points? Maybe it doesn't get to 24 points. Maybe it becomes a back and forth game, and then with momentum, you never know what could happen if you have your players playing. So, right. It does anger me though, just because we lost that game, and it was a very winnable game, especially because Cook was doing good on the ground, and we just got away from the run game.
Passing game?
No, we got away from the run game against Atlanta.
Yep, sorry. Which we shouldn't have, because the game was close enough.
And he was averaging 5 yards a carry.
Yes. Which, like I said, that goes back to play calling when one of those losses was like, well, what are we doing here? James Cook is like, just let him cook. That's literally his slogan, let James cook. But, that's over and done with. I don't really want to dwell on the past too much. Yeah, the loss sucks. It might come back to haunt us, later on in the end of the season. If we only had the one loss against the Patriots so far into this season, then we could afford to lose another one, like if we lose to Kansas City this week. But now at this point, we got to go win for a win with the Patriots at this point, and this is going to be our toughest challenge.
All 4 teams in the division won this past week as well. So
yeah.
And the last one I want to talk about is Aaron Rodgers did not get his, again, air quotes, revenge over his former team in the Green Bay Packers. Pack wins 35-25. They scored 21 points in the fourth quarter alone. I mean, the Steelers, I don't know what to think of this team. They start the season off good, like they did the year before. Defense, though, was their strong suit, and their defense this year has slowed down so much to now they're getting negative points a week is not good. I think I dropped them in our league and just picked up somebody coming off of a bye week, I want to say, because I can't trust them anymore. They have all the names in the world, the Jalen Ramseys, the Darius Slays, the TJ Watts, Patrick Queen. They have literally a ton of names on that defense, and you're letting up 35 points?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, 25, it's still respectable. You could win games with 25 points. But I was going to say Boswell was like half of that.
Yeah.
When your kicker's scoring half of your points, it's not a good indication.
He had 12 points at half, I think.
It's not a good indication.
He had 4 50-yard field goals or 3 50-yard field goals.
Keeping them into games, keeping them competitive. And that's how the Steelers try to play. They try to win. They try to wear you down. They win close games. They kick field goals. Mike Tomlin loves to kick field goals. Never goes for it. Just kick field goals. I don't know. I think they'll fizzle out. And honestly, we'll see what this week brings with Lamar Jackson. Should be starting tomorrow for the first time since week 3 or whatever it was that he got hurt.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So I think this is where they make that push now. Look, everybody was down on the Chiefs. They started off slow. They're looking like the Chiefs again. Same thing with Baltimore. They started off slow. Now they might start to get some momentum. They won last week with Tyler Huntley at the helm. They might build some momentum here. Key injuries, I already touched on Scadaboo. Judkins got hurt in that Browns game, questionable with a shoulder. I don't think it's long-term. Same with Barkley, questionable with a groin. Brock Bowers, I don't know how many weeks in a row it is for Brock Bowers, questionable with his knee. Hopefully he'll be back soon. The Raiders desperately need something. They're just looking awful. Pacheco, week to week with the knee. And Carson Wentz, I didn't realize, got IR'd. He's out for the season.
Yeah, his non-throwing shoulder was all jacked up. I watched that game the other day, and you could just see every time he took any type of hit, he was just in so much pain. Tried to shake it off. It's just, you feel bad for the guy because it's his 6th team in 6 years. That might have been the last we saw Carson Wentz.
It probably
who was, an MVP favorite going into the year. They won that Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Ended up, beating the Patriots in that Super Bowl. But
it probably is. J.J. McCarthy is back, though. Kind of perfect timing for them. Or else, I don't know who the quarterback 3 is. I don't think they even had one, maybe. I heard some trade rumors about possibly, there was some, I wish I would have saved that website. There were some wild trade rumors out there. One of them was Justin Fields going to the Vikings. I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
There were some crazy, man.
I can see Russell Wilson get moved before they moved, Justin Fields.
I got to look this up because honestly, there were some, I could spell rumors, right? NFL trade, rumors, deadline. I don't know which freaking one it was, man. I'll just click this one. I don't think this was it, though. It might have been Trey Hendrickson. No, because he just got paid. Yeah. No, not Trey. That was Aiden Hutchinson got paid. You sent me the link, didn't you?
No, I just sent you the info on it.
Or the info on it.
Yeah. Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson getting paid. 4-year extension, $180 million contract, $140 or $141 million guaranteed. Kind of the same thing as Micah Parsons, but Micah Parsons has a little bit more money on the back end with a little bit less guaranteed than Aiden Hutchinson. So respectable contracts on both parties, and obviously that's what Dallas needed to do with Micah Parsons when he was in year 4 and not try to ride this out to year 5 and then end up just, trading the guy for, a bag of donuts at this point.
I can't find the freaking thing, man, but there were other guys. It was like Trey Hendrickson going to somewhere crazy. Man, I wish I would have found that, though, because they were
Cowboys
some of the wildest.
Could use a pass rusher like him.
Yeah, they could. They could. This actually went through. Eagles trading John Mechie to the Jets for Michael Carter, too, cornerback. Okay. Eagles beefing up their defense, as they always do.
Shocker. I just don't know how they
Can we get a cornerback?
Yeah,
can we get a cornerback? Can the Bills please get a cornerback, dude?
I don't know if you have it written down, but that's kind of something I wanted to talk about before because the trade deadline will come and go before we meet again on our next podcast next Wednesday. Honestly, I think at this point something needs to happen with the Bills, whether we go out and try to get a number one wide receiver. You've mentioned some names like Calvin Ridley and the guy from the Raiders.
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers. Thank you. And I really think we need to go out and try to get a number one safety at this point or another cornerback to help out Hairston. I really don't want to see Trey White or Jordan Poyer out there anymore. Especially White, looks absolutely lost. He's just so slow. He can't keep up. He makes plays here and there.
Did he play at all now that Hairston was back? I don't even remember him on the stat sheet here.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I would be shocked if he did play.
White. I just thought I saw. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, there he is. One tackle,
which is fine. Maybe he filled in. Hairston, like I said, I thought Hairston might have played 45% of the snaps to try to get some legs underneath him. He played 43. Yeah. So I was pretty close to what I said, what I thought he was going to end up playing. We'll probably see those numbers ramped up as the weeks go on here, as he gets up to game speed, NFL game speed, because he hasn't played a game since college at this point. So we'll see what they do with him, but I really want to see the Bills go out and be a little bit more aggressive at the trade deadline this year. Go get a number one wide receiver if you can. I'm not worried about any of our first-round draft picks for the next 4 or 5 years.
No.
As long as we have Josh Allen, James Cook.
We're going to have the core.
We're going to have a good core. We're always going to have a good offensive line. I feel like we've kind of figured that out. We kind of treat our offensive line a little bit different than other teams do. We actually pay them. We actually make sure that Josh Allen stays upright. So I'm not worried about our picks 27 through 32 over the next 5 years, and especially after the last drafts that we've had, they've kind of been bust, or we've traded those picks away anyway, at the draft. So it really doesn't matter to me at this point. Use those draft picks to go get somebody that can make a difference now.
Yeah.
Get over this hump. I really want to see Josh Allen at least get to a Super Bowl at this point, because it's starting to turn into Phillip Rivers 2.0 at this point. The dude's going to have unbelievable regular season stats, never reach the Super Bowl, and we wasted his career for nothing.
Yeah, I think it was Yahoo Sports. So the first guy on here, Breece Hall, best destination, Chiefs. Could make sense with the Pacheco injury because they didn't confirm it, but it looks like it could be close to the season.
Yeah.
Might come back by playoffs. Jacoby Myers, Bills.
Yeah.
Okay. Ridley, Steelers. I can kind of see that because they really don't have a number 2 option there. Calvin Austin III and a bunch of other guys are kind of
just... Yeah, they could use George Pickens. Oh, wait, they traded him.
Well, they traded him and then they got a number 1, though, like a true one.
Well, they got number 1, then they traded George Pickens.
I mean,
which didn't make sense.
That's true. This one was interesting. Njoku to the Rams. I mean, they got Harold Fannin now, so they really don't need him anymore. And that might be it. I thought there was one more. Like I said, I saw Fields to the Vikings and something else. I saw like a DN. I think it was Bradley Chubb to somewhere too. Like there was a couple guys on here that you were like, okay.
Yeah.
Now, if that happens, these are all big. This is like the Madden trades going on.
Yeah, trades don't really happen too much in the NFL. Like blockbuster trades here and there.
Trades. This isn't Luka Doncic going to the Lakers, right? All right, let me get to what do we got here? Let's talk. Was it Pick'ems? What time?
Yeah,
is
I think we're up to Pick'ems.
You're right. I just lost my spot. That's all. All right, some Pick'ems here. Pull up the schedule here. Well, before I do that, let's recap. And that's the beers. Let's recap our Pick'ems here. For week 8, I went. Is that me? Yep, 9-4. Missed my bonus bet.
Yeah, that's.
You went 9-4. Hit your bonus bet, which was Gadsden over 3.5.
That Justin Jefferson one.
Justin Jefferson
had 72 yards at the
half and gets 2 more yards. Ends with 74. How do you get 2 yards,
doing, man?
How do you get 2 yards? You were down the whole game.
Yeah.
You were down the whole game. The script, this was perfect game script for them too. They're down the whole game.
Yeah.
It's Justin Jefferson. He already got 72 before the half. He should have finished with 120 easily.
Minimum, yeah.
Frustrating loss there. I always do ours, and then I always pick a third, and I usually do I usually just pick winner of those games, and I did pick the Chargers money line, I believe.
Yeah.
So, man, that's just That's crazy. Oh, well. So that brings our totals on the year here. Still a game behind you, but you now have a bonus on me, which I think at the end of the year, we'll just count that as the win column.
Okay.
We'll just do that. So you're technically two wins over me right now, but still pretty close. 72 and 52, 73 and 51. Pretty damn good this year so far.
Because there's some years where I'm like 10, 15 games ahead of you by this time of the year. And
I started picking wild shit at that point then. Yep, I get it. All right, let's get into this week's pick'ems here. We'll start with the Thursday night game. Tomorrow night, Baltimore at Miami. Both these teams kind of I don't know. This is different here. Baltimore should be getting Lamar back. Miami getting a strange win on the road in Atlanta. I'm going to take the Ravens on this one. If Lamar's playing, I got to take the Ravens.
I think Lamar is playing. It is confirmed. I'm going Baltimore as well on this one. I just don't trust Miami. I think that was more of a fluke win for Miami last week than anything.
Give me the spread though, plus 7.5, because I don't think they're winning by more than a touchdown at home too. You're getting 7.5. I'll take that. All right,
they're on the road getting 7.5.
No, they're not. They're at home getting plus.
Oh,
7.
Miami. Okay, my bad.
They're getting 7.5.
My bad.
Yep. Starting Sunday game, Chicago at Cincy. Bears are favored in this one. Give me the Bears on the road. I don't know what's going to happen with Joey Bag of Donuts.
I wish I knew Flacco was playing or not. I'm going to go ahead and assume he is. I'm just going to take Cincinnati on this one. Even though while you're looking that up, I'm going to circle Cincinnati. I just stay Flacco 50-50 5 hours ago.
Oh, okay. I clicked the wrong one. This one. 50-50. Coach says uncertain. Bengals, Bears. Showing. And it was throwing shoulder. AC joint.
It is throwing shoulder. I think I got to change that then. Shit. I don't even know who their backup is.
It's Jake Browning.
Oh, God, Jake Browning.
Jake Browning.
Right. He was so bad I forgot about him. I'm like, Flacco, shit. Who they got next? Anybody? Nobody? They got nobody. I'm going to go with Chicago as well. I'm going to change that one.
That's fine.
Just because if it wasn't his throwing shoulder, I'd be like, yeah, he's going to play. And they're saying, his head coach saying it's 50-50 chance, but.
Next game, if this was last year, this would be game of the week. Minnesota at Detroit. Give me Detroit at home. Obviously, the Lions are heavily favored here, 9.5 points.
Yeah. JJ McCarthy
coming back. I don't know, man.
Kind of have to have him back at this point just because they just lost, Yeah,
you'd like to think it would be kind of competitive because they're supposed to get dog walked. JJ needs to prove something. If he's healthy, he should prove something here, but I just think this Detroit team is so good on defense, dude. Aiden Hutchinson just got paid. He balling out. He going to ball out.
Yeah.
Probably get 4 sacks himself. Carolina at Green Bay. Again, pretty chalk here. We'll go Green Bay at home. The Chargers at the Titans.
Tennessee, that's another one that's kind of chalked it up. Chargers.
Atlanta at New England. Do I want them to win? No, but do I think they're going to win? Yeah. Give me New England at home. If that was on the road, I would think twice about that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Panic should play and London should play, though.
I don't know if it matters. I think New England at home, they've been playing so good. Drake May's inching up in the MVP talks now. Just by how well he's been playing. I think he's got the 5th most passing yards, too, in the league. He's played pretty clean football this year, too. Not a lot of interceptions or fumbles. I got to go New England on this one.
I'm just pulling real quick. New England's won 5 straight games. Excuse me. They're actually 2-2 at home, and they're 4-0 on the road. So New England's actually been a better road team this year, but Atlanta's on 1-2 on the road. I'm gonna keep with it. Now look, we'll be rooting against them. I'll root against my pick for sure.
I'll take a loss on these pick'ems if Atlanta wins this one. But
exactly.
San Francisco and the Giants. That would be a good game if both teams were healthy. But I feel like this is the battle of the wheelchairs at this point. I don't know. They're coming out. Both teams are coming out on crutches. Is Brock Purdy back? Did he come back last week?
Mac Jones played again.
I don't even know if Mac Jones is hurt now too, so I don't know. Brock Purdy might be back this week. I'm probably just going to go with the Giants because they're home at this one, but you could literally flip a coin.
Injury updates. Ayuk's still out.
Pearsall might be back.
Knee contusion. I don't see what's his face on here though.
Purdy.
Maybe Purdy is back.
Quarterback status remains uncertain.
Oh. Well, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Who's their quarterback?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. And that just makes me want to pick the Giants even more. If we don't even know if Mac Jones is going to play and Purdy, they're just like, yeah, maybe he'll come back. Maybe he won't. Maybe he's going to go over to Germany for a specialist like McCaffrey did a couple of years ago.
Well, oh, boy. Adrian Martinez. Adrian, I can read. Yeah. Adrian Martinez out of Kansas State. Rookie. I mean, fuck.
Sure.
Yeah, they lost.
Yeah, I'm taking the Giants.
I'm going to keep the Giants, too.
Yikes.
Okay, Indianapolis at Pittsburgh. Whoo.
I got to go Indy on this one. They're 7-1, man.
These feel too easy this week. Like there's not really too many.
That's going to be like we're going to come back and actually be like, yeah, we went 3-12.
That's not good.
No.
I mean, but seriously though, Indy's looked really good this year. Pittsburgh has not looked good.
They don't look like a fake 7-1. They look legitimate. Their offense looks good. Jonathan Taylor is playing Madden as well. Dude's got like 17 touchdowns. I feel like already, or 14 touchdowns. It's insane how good he is right now.
He's him right now. Denver at Houston. Could this be our upset?
This could be the
Guess
upset.
what? Houston's still fucking favored, dude. It's crazy. Are they that good at home? Like, is it just a lock at home for them?
Yes.
I picked against them last week. I'm going to pick Houston. I'm picking Houston.
I'm taking Denver this
Denver
week.
should win this. I'm only doing this out of spite because Houston should have lost to the 49ers, dude. I'm going to take Houston. I'm taking Houston. Jacksonville at the Raiders. Starting the 4:00 games here. Give me the Raiders at home.
I'm going to go Jacksonville. I don't feel comfortable picking either one of those teams, to be honest with you.
It's a tie.
Yeah.
We'll both lose.
Could you imagine imagine we picked a tie one? We'd be like, you know what? I think this game's going to tie.
All right. That's a new rule. If you pick a tie, you get 2 points.
All right. I'm not picking it for this one, but.
New Orleans at the Rams.
I'm going with Rams on this one.
Yeah, and I think Nakua's back too as well. Make it a little easier. Chiefs at the Bills. Go Buffalo.
The Bills.
All right, maybe we could get a little froggy here. Seattle at Washington. Nope, Seattle.
Yeah, I'm going Seattle. I don't think Jaden Daniels plays again this week.
No, I think he is back.
Oh, is he back?
I think so, but I got the early week update. McLaurin's already announced out.
Oh, yeah, he's already out. Yep.
He just came back last week, scores a touchdown. They took him out earlier in the fourth quarter as a precautionary because they were losing the game. They were done. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, all right, maybe, get a little rest. You don't have to play the whole game. You get my touchdown, whatever for me. And I'm like, okay, it's a Wednesday. Already announced him out. That can't be good. He re-aggravated, I think it was his quads.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. But I did hear, because they were kind of preluding that it was going to be Daniels, McLaurin, and Debo for the first time since like week 1.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Maybe next week.
So, I don't know. I clicked back over that. And then was it Sunday night game, Seattle at Washington? We just talked about that. And then the Monday night game here, Arizona at Dallas. Dallas at home. Yeah, I like Dallas at home. Dallas on the road, I do not like. Give me Dallas.
I'm taking Dallas as well.
I don't think we only pick one different team from each other then.
2, I thought. You took Houston and Las Vegas. I took Denver and Jacksonville.
That's true. 2.
So, hey, you make some ground up this week.
And I don't even like my Houston pick, but out of spite, I had to pick them.
Did you pick something for the prop bet tomorrow?
I did.
Because I forgot.
I know you did. I saw you look at your phone. Good job.
And then I wrote it down. I was like, all right.
Job.
So hopefully we I'm going to have to set a reminder on my phone at 12 o'clock on Wednesdays when I go on lunch break to look that up real quick.
I picked it. Hopefully the line didn't change, but I wrote it down on here anyways. So for our prop bets this week, I'm going to take – watch us take the same thing. I'm taking A-Chain.
Okay, we did not pick the same thing.
Right, good.
I picked a different team too.
A-Chain over – oh, man. I'm torn between his rushing yards or his receptions. Man, I think they're going to be down, though, in this game. So I think I'm going to take his receptions in this game. Okay. I think it's high, dude. It's like 6. I'm going 6 receptions on this one.
I'll check mine real quick. What
if I can get it at a lower line, I'll take 5 if it's decent. But I think I'm going to take 6, and I think 6 is plus money. So 5.5.
5.5 on FanDuel.
Okay. Is it plus money, though?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Plus
I'll do
130. So you're going to do it.
I liked it. I mean, honestly, but even his rushing isn't terrible. If Lamar's not playing, I think I take his rushing yards. His line was at 57.5 rushing. He killed that last week against the Atlanta. So and the Ravens don't have a great rush D either. Their defense in general hasn't been good, but their rush D isn't good either. I'm thinking Achane could easily get that. His combined was 100. I didn't want to go that high, so I was like, I think 57 rushing is feasible.
Yeah.
And then I'm listening to somebody else talk about them, and they're like, well, with Lamar back, their offense is a lot better. I think Miami has to play a little bit more catch up this game. So could he get to 57? Yeah, but I think his receiving is more in play. So what do you got?
I'm going Lamar Jackson over his rushing yards.
That's crazy.
Yes, it is. And I thought about going the under. It's 35.5.
You know why it's 35.5? Because he's coming off an injury.
Yes,
and his leg.
I understand that. But I think he's gonna use his legs like he always does. He's gonna get. He could rip off 6 rushes for 7 yards and get it easy. You know what I mean? I just don't under. 35.5 is so low for him.
It's so low.
It's probably clickbait at this point to try to take that. But when he's only at 35.5, when he averages 60 a game, I got to go with the over 35.5.
Yeah, and to be honest, for him, that's one run. It could be 1 or 2 runs.
Yeah.
He usually averages 8 rushes a game,
That's
8 to 9 rushes a game. So
6 for 7 yards each one.
Yeah. It just worries me because I think it was a quad or hamstring. It was hamstring injury, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. He missed a lot of time.
Is he going to be running a lot?
Probably.
Well, here's the thing. They thought you might be good, though, because they thought he was going to come back last week.
Yeah.
So maybe he was healthy enough last week to play. That would have been real risky. But maybe he's if he was healthy enough last week and they waited an additional, it's a short week, but still they waited an additional 6 days or whatever. He's probably even more ready to go now.
I saw some reports that said he should have waited until after this game because he gets an extra 10 days after Thursday night's game.
He's itching to come back. Look, they got that win with Huntley,
like,
and they're like, oh, now we got to build some momentum here. Yes. I think from a coaching perspective, they got that win with Huntley, and they're like, we got to just throw him in there now. Yeah. If he's 80%, we got to throw him in there now. So that does make sense.
Yeah, I completely agree. But like I said, they're so low. I'm just like, it's probably bait at this point. But they were both negative. Over 35.5 was negative money, and under was negative money. I'm like, if one was plus money,
it's hard.
That's one of those. I'm like, I think I'm gonna stay away from that. But
yeah. All right, guys. Not a bad podcast today. Hour and 7 minutes.
Not bad.
All right,
not bad.
I like it.
We got a couple minutes if you want to talk about the Sabres a little bit.
Yeah, real quick.
4-4-2 on
plug
the season
Sabres
after they started 0-3.
Yeah.
So they're now 4-1-2 in their last 7 games. I like what I see from this team. They're playing with a lot of grit. They're playing with a lot of passion. Their goaltending has been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Ukko-Pukka Luukkonen came back. He played okay in his first game back. I think he should have stayed in Rochester. Alex Lyon, though, has been the story. He's been playing absolutely fantastic goaltending. Colton Ellis got his first NHL start last week. Played exceptional. He got a win as well for the Sabres. The only thing I'd like to see more of is more net presence on both offense and defense. We don't have anybody trying to stand in front of the goalie on offense.
No,
and we're not. Our defense still isn't clearing out the offensive people in front of our own goaltender. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to see a little bit more from them. But Josh Doan looks fantastic. Benson looks fantastic. We're getting production from guys that we weren't getting last year, and that's what I really like to see. So, yeah, we're only 10 games into the season, and even though we started 0-3 and people were ready to sell the team, I actually think after those 3 games, these last 7 are really like a turning point compared to what they were last year around this time. So hopefully we just don't need an 0-13 skid again like we did last year. And I would like to figure out what we're doing with our goaltending situation at this point, because if Ukko-Pukka Luukkonen's not going to be the guy that we paid him for, and Alex Lyon has been so hot, I don't want to flip-flop back and forth between one of these two. Has to take the reins over and run away with the goaltending thing, because we're going to run into that situation like we did the last couple of years where Luukkonen got hot, got cold, then we flip-flop. It's like, okay, we need somebody to take the reins and actually run away with this goaltending job, because that's not going to help your team later into the season if you're still trying to figure out who your number one goalie is. They got to figure it out by Thanksgiving.
Well, here's one thing you can count on. I don't think the Sabres will make the right decision, whatever they do. So,
maybe they'll go with Karuba.
They need to trade Luukkonen, I think.
That joke went right over your head.
What?
You said something about making the right decision. So
Yeah.
I said insist on Karuba collision. Remember that was the old thing?
It was.
The whole, big hit of the game. It was Karuba collision.
Right.
Anyways.
Trade Luukkonen. Keep lying. Try something different.
I don't know what the hell is going on with Devin Levi at this point either. Because
look,
he can just stay in.
Yeah, he's stay in the AHL until we need a guy to pull up. So I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. But at least the Sabres are at least interesting to watch, I'd say, at this point.
For sure. I mean, we watched the game last week after we did the podcast. And
that was ecstatic.
That was a fun game.
It was goal. Yep. So, and then lastly here, we're going to get off, and I'm going to throw on the World Series Game 5 as well.
That's going to be a good game.
Shout out to the Blue Jays, dude. As much as I don't want a Canadian team winning, they are essentially the home team. They're literally 2 hours from us. It is Buffalo's closest professional baseball stadium. So, and as much as I love Ohtani, I don't want to see the Dodgers win again, dude. Like,
you're right.
I was happy Ohtani got his championship.
I like parity, and in all sports, I like parity. I don't want to see.
Right.
We got the NBA on now. We haven't had a back-to-back NBA championship in 9 years or something like that. Yeah. So I like to see that too. And I'm a huge Shane Bieber fan, so I'd like to see him get a ring this year.
Justin was wearing his jersey.
Yes, he was. And Shane actually pitched last night, and he pitched phenomenal. So I like to see that.
All right, guys. With that being said, I'm Mikey D.
I'm Jeff.
We out.
Go Bills.